Hi guys, happy Monday night. I'm sorry that my lighting is so terrible, but I'm just gonna have to make it work. I'm kind of going off script right now, so I'm just gonna wait a couple minutes and have some people sign on, and then I'm gonna get to doing my thing. It's definitely different. I'm actually filming on my laptop as opposed to my phone, which is what I normally do, so I guess we'll just see how this goes. I kind of wanted to keep it lighthearted. I know that I normally do like makeup posts and everything like that, but I already have my makeup done, so I don't really want to do my makeup again. So just give me a few minutes, or a few seconds, I should say, and then I'll get started. And feel free to say hi whenever you sign on. I'd love to know who's watching still. I love it. I cannot believe I am already in my third week of school. Well, starting, yeah, it's my third week of school. It's pretty insane. So first off, while I'm dealing with like sharing this video and everything, because I want to make sure that my VIPs see this, I want to know what everyone who's watching this video, what their New Year's resolution was. Because I really love to know everyone's New Year's resolutions because they're always different and I love to hear about it. So. Okay. Let's see, share to, okay. I think that worked. Okay. All right, so hi, Shelly. Oh my gosh, the picture that you posted earlier, I mean, you're always amazing, girlfriend, but you are amazing. I'm so excited for you. That picture, I love to see it. It was great. It was great. You're beautiful. Hi, Mara. Hi, Rebecca. Destroyed. I have no idea what that means. Okay. So anyways, I thought it would be fun, and maybe it's because, okay, so I don't know if to help others be. I love that. That is great. It's always like so rewarding when you can help other people like on their journey. I love it so much. So what I wanted to do, so I don't know if you guys are like me and I'm a tad dysfunctional. So what I like to do is, first off, my New Year's resolutions for this year, I can't say that I necessarily had that many to begin with. What I wanted to do was to be more organized. I wanted to try to not put things off as much as I always have. So I have this tendency where, especially being in school now, that I will think about something that I have to do, and it might not even be due or need to be done for like a week or so. So I will start to I'll start to think about it like a week ahead, and then I'll start dreading it, and then I'll start putting it off. So my somewhat New Year's resolution was, even if it's something as little as putting gas in my car, yes, I put that off. I don't know why, but it's like the things that I feel like I have to do like seem like the hardest thing in the world for me to do. So I tend to put them off, and then I'll think about that. So I told myself that as soon as something pops into my head, that I would try my best to just get it done in that moment, get it over with. And so far this year, I've done pretty well, and I've actually been like a lot lower as far as stress goes, especially as my schoolwork goes. But I've also been trying to, and this is actually pretty funny, I'm a big runner. For everyone that knows me, I love to run. I like to do races, and I think those are they're so rewarding, and I love getting the medals, and they're so much fun to do. I never really like necessarily pay attention to like what place I come in, because to me that's not important. I just love to compete in them. I love to get the medals. I love the experience. I love t-shirts. I love all that. But this year, I've wanted to focus more on doing weight training. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And actually, I've been inspired because over winter break, as you guys know, my husband has a practice, Lowry Chiropractic. He works with his father out in Geneva, New York. So for anyone in New York that is near that area that needs a chiropractor, I know two amazing ones. So definitely check them out. But so I was able to work out at Lift Fitness in Geneva, New York. And one of the trainers there, Jenny, she is amazing. And she has like numerous classes in the mornings. They're at 5 a.m. and I think they're at other times, but the ones that I always went to were at 5 a.m. So I would actually get up at like 4 in the morning just to make sure that my butt was awake before I drove to the gym. But she got me seeing like that, hey, like, you know, actually doing some sort of strength training actually would help you out a little bit, because honestly, I hate strength training. I hate lifting weights. I don't know why. I'm more of a runner. That's what I've always classified myself as. But the more and more I move along, like I come to find out that, hey, I can actually do this kind of stuff and I'm actually starting to see results. I'm really excited about it. So that's one thing that I've been incorporating more now. And also, I can't say that I've been doing like the keto diet because A, I'm not good at diets, B, I'm not good at like really tracking what I eat. And honestly, I have to be honest and say that I don't really understand what the percentages mean. Like I get it, but I mean, is like wine included in the keto diet? Probably not. Makes me a little sad. So my point of all this is that I was going to like make my diet more keto-ish. I was eating a crap ton of pasta, so I cut that out. Actually, tonight I went out to dinner to Olive Garden, probably the worst place for someone trying to like avoid pasta. And I went with my friend. I got shrimp scampi, and then I replaced the pasta with the broccoli. And I have to say, it was still equally as amazing. I do have a gluten intolerance, so unfortunately, I couldn't have the stuffed mushrooms because they came with breadcrumbs, which I was really hoping to have those. But either way, you know, it really does all come down to changing like your mindset about things, because instead of thinking, hey, I'm missing out on everything because I can't have this, I can't have that, I was like, you're going to do good for your body. You're going to feel better doing it, you know, after the fact. And I do. I feel great. And I know that I wanted to have that, but no, I, you know, told myself, you've been doing so great since the beginning of the year, so you might as well just stick to it. And I feel great. And I still feel like I had fun time with my friends. And it's just, it is what it is. And it's just little baby steps, because actually like I had, you know, and I can't believe I'm saying this on a live video, but before the end of my last term, I actually gained 10 pounds. I don't know whether that was from food. I don't know whether that was from whatever. I know it wasn't from lack of working out, because I did consistently like work out like as much as I always had, but something changed where I don't know what it was, but I gained it and I noticed it and I felt it for sure. So I was like, something needs to give. So that's honestly a lot of the reason why I needed to try something different this year. So now that I'm like off my soapbox, let's see. Oh, I love that, Mara. And then, yes, it is, Shelly. I really do love like making lists. That's honestly like my guilty pleasure, is to make lists. I love cardio. I don't know. Like, it's like, I think running is probably like the only cardio that I like. I don't know that I like other things. I think like running is kind of like my therapy. But so I'm going to get off that like rant of mine, and I'll go on to like why I kind of jumped on here to begin with. So that's kind of like what I've been working through as far as my New Year's resolutions go. By the way, our Hottie Lip Plumper, I'm in love with this stuff, but I've been trying to like throw it on with my lip glosses, because you guys know how like you wear like a liquid lip and then they dry out. I always end up putting this stuff over it just so it doesn't do that. So I told myself at the beginning of this year, end of last year, that I was going to get on Pinterest and I was going to motivate myself. I'm going to have to honestly turn this off for a second because like seeing myself in the screen is totally distracting me. So, okay. So I'm just going to wing it for right now. So what I did was I got on Pinterest and I was like, I'm going to start going through things that's going to get my ass in gear, right? I'm going to count on Pinterest to tell me how I'm going to get my life together, how I'm going to give myself more self-love, how I'm going to do all these things, which, as you guys know, looking on Pinterest seems perfect. I mean, this is like not reality. Like sometimes it is reality, but I mean, a lot of times like it's kind of not. Like I always look at Pinterest as in like the ideal things of what we want to be and how we want to be, but it's like what we strive to be sometimes. Like as dumb as that, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm alone out here in this Pinterest obsessed world where when I look at Pinterest, I think, you know what, these people that post these Pinterest things, like they have their shit together. Like maybe that's just me. I don't know. You guys can let me know if maybe I'm the only one in the universe that does that. Maybe I am. So what I wanted to share with you guys on a break from my makeup gig is to share with you guys the fun things that I've learned on Pinterest. And you let me know if this helps you guys out. Okay. So what I did is I have different boards. And the one that I have actually like organized them into is one of them is Gyst. So that is an acronym for, and I'm sorry for any, hopefully there's no children watching, it's Get Your Shit Together, which is Gyst. So I actually started saving these to a board, and these are the things that are supposed to help us get our life in order. So let's see. So according to this one Pinterest post, there are 16 things that successful people do on Monday mornings. So today's a Monday. So I want you to think to yourself how many of these 16 things that you guys did this morning, being a Monday. I don't know if today's technically should count because technically, yes, it is so full of knowledge. So since it's a Monday morning, you guys tell me that everyone watching this, how many of these things that you guys did on a Monday? Okay, so 16 things. Number one, they wake up early. I know me for, let's see. I woke up this morning at 5, and that's only because I had to be to my clinic at 8, and it was like an hour and a half drive. So I got up early to be somewhere. Normally on days when I don't have to be somewhere, where obviously like you have to be somewhere every day for the most part. I usually go to the gym pretty early in the morning. So I guess you'd say that I wake up early. So, okay, I can check off number 1 for myself for the most part. We'll say 75% of the week. So number 2, they exercise. So successful people exercise on Monday mornings. But do they do it the rest of the week? I don't know, because it doesn't say it, just says Monday mornings. I try to work out probably about 4 to 5 times a week, give or take, depends on what I do. So number 3, they eat a healthy breakfast. Lately I have been focusing mainly on protein. I've actually been doing the Fitness Pal like food tracker, which normally I at trying to track my food, but I love like the Fitness Pal thing, like where you can actually just like scan the barcode on the back of your food and then it just kind of like fills in everything else for you. That I can do, but I've literally just been doing the same thing for breakfast every day, just 2 over medium eggs, and I think it's 1 serving of bacon, and that's just like my main protein for the morning, and sometimes I'll do a protein shake depending on if I work out or not. So 4, they arrive early. I try to. I mean, mainly my arriving early, I have to say, usually depends on whether I feel like I have enough time to get somewhere. That probably doesn't make any sense, but my classes start at 9, so I'm like this over paranoid person thinking that I'm ever going to be late to something, so I usually leave early just to prevent from being late, not because I enjoy being early to something. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but there that goes. So 5. They clear their desk and desktop. I have no idea what that means. Maybe like you don't have like junk hanging out on your desk. Like, honestly, if you guys could see, like just grabbing a handful, this is like all the crap that I have like on my desk. I like bury my desk in makeup. Like, it's sad that I actually don't even do my homework anymore at my desk. It is now my full-on vanity for all my makeup and everything associated with it. Guilty as charged. So 6, they carve out time for unexpected projects and tasks. I don't know if I do that intentionally. Like, I'm starting to feel like I don't match up to Pinterest right now. See, this is why I don't usually do this. Like, I save it like in the moment. I think it's going to make me motivated. But so carving out time for unexpected projects and tasks. I can't say that I carve it out specifically, but I mean, usually my day kind of does allow, I guess, for unexpected projects and tasks, but I generally try to plan out things enough in advance, like where I'm not expecting the unexpected. That is so control freak of me, and I apologize. So, okay. They greet their teams and boss. I'm guessing that this might be geared towards direct marketing, ladies. So I have to say for that, I do not do. I generally don't greet my team and my boss because I don't have them. So as it is right now, I do work with a direct marketing company right now, but I don't have a team. I kind of just work on it as like a solo venture right now, just because I'm in law school and I don't really have enough time to grow a team. I'm sure if I wanted to devote the time, it would definitely happen. I'm always open to the idea of any ladies that have approached me to join like the opportunity and everything, but it's not something that I'm actively pursuing right now. So, okay, they update their to-do list and goals. So this is something actually that stands out to me because I realized, so when I was thinking about doing like New Year's resolutions and everything like that, I thought about why it is that we start the beginning of the year like ready to go, ready to attack this, and then towards like maybe the mid-year, like it starts to kind of like fall off and everything. So, and I realized what it is. It's because the end goal and the end time is way too far in advance. Like I was like, if we, and I told my husband this, I was like, if we look at every month, babe, I was like, and make like a little bitty goal for ourselves for each month working towards it, that's going to work a lot better for us than if we're trying to work towards it. Because, for example, I know last year, like one of my New Year's resolutions was I was going to take two to three classes, like at my gym, and that was just going to be whatever. And I loved it, but it's like, to a point, I became burnt out, and I was like, man, I don't want to do it anymore. It's not that I wasn't having fun. I just didn't see like like any result or anything like that. So I just kind of stopped doing it. Right, early. What's that? Needs work. For sure. Grapes. That's a good idea. I need to do that. Like, what is the deal with like grapes going up in prices nowadays? Like, I feel like they trick you because whenever you look at the price, you think it's like $1.99 for like the entire pack, but it ends up being like $1.99 per pound, and then it ends up being like $20 for like a bunch of grapes. I spent the whole day cleaning. Oh, yay. I'm excited for the slippers. I can't wait. I was actually thinking about those the other day because it was so cold in my house. And I want to like, I'm excited for the slippers because I can sleep in them. Ugh, I'm so excited. Spent the whole day cleaning and doing little things. Yes. Nice. I was supposed to have off today too, but like I ended up going and doing my clinic hours just so I wouldn't have to, like I have a makeup class tomorrow since I missed it today. So that's kind of what I did today. So, okay. Successful people also visualize the week's successes. So I have to be honest and say that at this point, I don't really have like a week's success. I guess like my week's success would be to be able to, I don't know, maybe like enjoy dinner, a glass of wine with a friend this weekend and not think about schoolwork. I guess that would be like a success for me because I feel like with school, like you're always constantly thinking about something, which I'm sure like is the same thing with moms. And you know what I mean? Just like you're always like, you always have something going on. So it's like, do you ever really feel like you're you're done. You know what I mean? I doubt it. I can imagine. So they screen emails for urgent requests. I usually like consistently check my emails, so it's not like I ever would miss one, even if like I don't get that many emails. So I can't say that I have to like screen them, like they all kind of come through the same. So they tackle the tough challenges first. I would say that I'm kind of backwards in that sense. Like I'll usually do like little tasks first and then do the big one, or depending upon what time I get up in the morning, I might do the big challenge. Or if I have like an assignment due that's sooner rather than later, I'll do that one first. So I guess you can consider those ones big, but it might not be like big in the size. I think sometimes like I read things too literally. So they make an extra effort to smile. That's a good one. I don't know that I make an extra effort to smile. Sometimes I walk around with just a face. And like I smile when I see people, but it's not like a constant smile. So maybe that's something that I can work on. They add a blanket of humanity to their emails. Blanket of humanity. I get what they're trying to say, but I guess like I'm always kind to people in my emails, so I guess I can say that I do that. They're able to say no. Yes, I am definitely able to say no. I learned that a long time ago that saying yes to everything is definitely going to make you very, very stressed out. And also like feeling just like that you have to do things and have to show up, and that if you don't show up, like you're not a good friend, you're not a good whatever. Like sometimes like friends and family need to understand that like, you know, that everyone is busy and like we sometimes need a break. Are you still working at the same place, Shell, as when we moved away? Oh, I'm so excited. I like want to take a trip down there just to catch up. Okay, so the next thing, number 15, we've already worked our way out through this. They stay focused. No. I feel like I also like let my mind wander too much. If anything, it's hard for me to stay focused on exactly like what I'm doing sometimes like in the moment. Like it's like I'll start something, but I'll do like a million other things like in the mix because my mind just won't shut up. Also something that I'm working on. They remember that there is a Tuesday. And that is probably one of the best things like I think that should be like at the top of the list, to be honest. To remember that there always is another day. A, to do things. A, if you don't feel, or A, wow. B, if you don't feel like you did everything great, like on the first day or on that Monday, like there's always another day to take a whack at it. So I like that. So, okay. I don't know. I hope you guys are having fun with this. I kind of think that these are fun to go through and like hear other people's thoughts on them just because like I save them in my phone and then I usually never go back through them. But in the moment when I save them, I feel like I have my stuff together. So let's see. What else do we have? Do you guys have any like little requests? Oh, that's awesome. Yes, coffee definitely like it depends. Like I've started realizing that the more I go along that regular coffee just doesn't kick it anymore. Like I need something like I need my Americano with like an extra shot. And that makes me feel very happy and very awake. Okay, let's see. What is something fun? Let's see. We have 19 lists to make when life gets overwhelming. Okay. We have deep questions to ask yourself. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I even want to go through that one. I feel like that would be like an hour-long video. Okay. I'm just going to go for it. Let's see. I'm trying to be good at just doing these videos. I used to do videos all the time, just like on a whim and not even try to like script them of what I want to talk about. But I'm just going to go through these. So this is kind of like the whole like thing. I don't know if I'm going to try to answer all of them because that's kind of a lot, but let's see. So the first question is, and you guys can do this with me if you'd like to. I like the comments on the side. It makes me happy. So do I like who I am right now? Wow, these are pretty deep questions. Do I like who I am right now? I'd have to say yes, I do like who I am right now. Do I entirely? I always feel like I have a lot of work that I could be doing on myself. I feel like I could be a lot easier on myself, for one, which is probably why it makes this question a little bit difficult to answer, because I always feel like maybe there's like a place where I could improve, whether it be, you know, with my friends, my family, in school. Like I just always feel like there's some area in life where I could be doing better or could be doing more. So yeah, I'm glad that I started that off with such like a serious question. Wow. Okay. When was the last time I laughed so hard? When was the time that I laughed so hard? I can't remember a specific one, but I'm pretty sure it's like a time when like Chance and I were laughing insanely hard about something. I usually make myself laugh. Probably a lot harder than I should. I don't know why I amuse myself so much, but okay. What would I truly regret not doing if I died tonight? Wow. Okay. What would I truly regret not doing if I died tonight? It's not something that I would regret not doing, but regret that I couldn't do would probably be spend more time with my family and friends. Because I don't think that I get enough time to do that. As you guys know, my family lives in Texas right now, so I don't get to see them as often as I'd like. So that's probably something that I would regret. So what advice has someone in my family given and that I have taken just in time? Okay, so a good one. My mom actually, so if she's watching this, I'm sure she would get like a good kick out of this. So my mom used to always stress the importance of school. So actually when I was in high school, she would literally like have to scream at the top of her lungs just to get me out of bed. And she would always tell myself to, or she would always tell me to appreciate education and to never forget like how important education was. And so my mom pushed me and pushed me and pushed me to get my education, do well, and to, even if I didn't do, like, she always pushed me to do my best, but even if I didn't do amazing, she supported me no matter what. And I've always loved her a million times over for that. So that was amazing. Okay. So what were the top 3 lessons I learned the hard way? Let's see. Top 3 lessons that I learned the hard way. I learned that life goes on. I've learned that sometimes friends aren't who they say they are. And I'm honestly just don't take it for anything more than it is, that sometimes you need to put yourself first, and all you have is yourself sometimes, and you need to just put your wants above others, you know? Like, you're always gonna have yourself in life, so it's like, you know, never put your wants below anyone else's. Okay, so what would I do if my biggest fear came true? Oh my gosh, I don't want to think about it. That's really sad. We're going to skip that one. So what would I do with my remaining days if I only had 1 year left to live? I would travel the world. I would, in a heartbeat. That's actually something that I want to do as soon as I graduate. Like, I want to graduate, pass the bar, and then obviously work, but eventually I want to travel the world. I want to go to Ireland. I want to go to Paris. I want to see it all. So, okay, so since these questions are getting a little bit too heavy for me, I'm going to switch to something a little bit more upbeat and fun, unless you guys have any recommendations that we can do. Okay, so this is something fun. So I'm just going to read these off really quick because I've already been chatting for 30 minutes, so I'm probably droning on right now, but I'm kind of having fun. I hope you guys are having fun. So, okay, these are girl boss habits to develop now, as in right now, apparently, because it was like they even hashtagged girl boss. Can you guys see? They hashtagged it. That means it's serious. Okay, so you need to wake up at the same time every day to be a girl boss. Okay, I get what it's saying. I kind of do, I guess. Like, I wake up for the gym at the same time every day. I mean, whether it's the weekend or not. So that kind of counts, right? Whether I do it on purpose or not. So 2 is meditate. I don't meditate enough. I don't even think I know how to meditate, to be honest. I don't think I can sit still long enough to meditate. Not I love you, Shell. You're such a sweetheart. I miss you so much. Yeah, so I've definitely, like, on so many of my like YouTube videos that I like to follow, like, they're always talking about like meditating and taking time for silence and everything. Like, it's not that I'm too busy to meditate. I just can't sit still long enough. Like, my brain won't shut off. So maybe that's a downfall. Maybe that's something that I need to focus on doing more. Okay, so number 3, girl bosses drink more water. They probably do. And that's actually something that I've been working on doing as well. They recite affirmations daily, which I watched a video last night on, or was it this morning? I can't really remember. But pretty much what this video talked about was trying to counteract negative thoughts with positive affirmations. So yeah, I think reciting affirmations daily is a good thing to do. I really do. To think about them in the moment, I think for me personally might be a little bit difficult, but I can see why it can help. So number 5, create a professional mission statement. I think that's talking like geared towards your business or what it is that you're trying to do with your life professionally is what I'm guessing, which is a good idea because that way if you do your professional statement, you know where you're headed. To develop smart action plans for your goals. Okay. So we actually, I watched this in a video actually. So they talked about like setting your New Year's resolutions towards the end of the year and then working backwards. So I could see where this would work because that way you're kind of like starting with like the end goal and then you're like working your way back so it doesn't seem as difficult. So that makes sense. So start keeping a journal. That was number 7. So I do keep a journal. I don't write in it as often as I should. I used to actually, when I was like in my teenage years, I used to religiously write in my journal. And those are definitely very insightful to like look back and read in my older years. So yes. I tend to keep way too many journals now. I actually got like the cutest journal like for Christmas from my mother-in-law. It has an owl on it and it is adorable. And I've written a few bulleted things in there. So what I've been doing is not necessarily trying to write out like full statements because sometimes like the thought of like writing paragraphs and everything, like maybe I'm just so extra. I don't know. It's just like sometimes like sitting there like I'm better at like bulleted like random thoughts than like actually trying to put them together in a paragraph. Let's just be honest. So that's just kind of how it's going right now. So that's how I am on my journey. Crap, I pushed the button. Okay. Plan out your day in advance. So the morning of my days, I usually started at the gym and I don't plan them out on paper, but I do think about them while I am working out. So I know what my day is going to be. And I also, this is where I practice my positive affirmations, is I don't allow myself to get like dreadful about like my day that I have like ahead of me. Like I just try to be in the moment and what I'm doing, focus on what I have coming up. And that's kind of where I go from there. So, okay. Number 9, set specific times to check and answer emails. I don't do that because I consistently check them throughout the day. Use apps to block distracting websites. Where did they get these? Okay. That I don't have to do, so we're just going to skip that one. Cook more of your own meals. I actually have been doing that since I told you guys I've been kind of going more keto-ish. So I have been cooking pretty much a majority of my own meals. Actually, the first night that I haven't cooked my own meals tonight in a while, and that's because I went to Olive Garden and their shrimp was thebomb.com. So number 12 is go meatless 1 day a week. I guess like I appreciate the sentiment. I don't know where that goes with like the girl boss thing, but I do agree that going meatless 1 day a week definitely does help animals a lot, which are obviously near and dear to my heart. So speaking of near and dear, my rats are like fighting each other in the corner over there. So if you guys heard that little squeak, that's from the evil little one. His name is the Duke. And then we have Josie Wales. And then we have on top Ranquist. He is a sweetheart. So my rats definitely have very mature names. And now they're just throwing stuff around in their cage. So speaking of going meatless. Okay, next. Create weekly meal plans. That I think is a good idea. That I wish I did more often, but I don't. What I kind of do is just buy a crap ton of the same thing and I just cook it. I have like the same thing for breakfast, the same thing for lunch, the same thing for dinner. So I guess that's technically meal prep. Sorry, I'm kind of a mess. And this is why like I go through Pinterest to try to organize my life. You're welcome. But I'm doing this for you guys. So instead of you guys having to scroll through Pinterest, you can just watch this video. Okay. Find a workout buddy. This I wish I had. I loved it because when I was in New York, I was able to go work out with my friend Heather like on all these mornings and go to our workouts. And honestly, I got excited to wake up at 4 in the morning. Yes, it was 4 in the morning. Just to see her beautiful face. And I thought it was great because we got to hang out together. Okay, so go for a 15-minute walk every day. Yeah, I think that definitely is something that people do, I guess, that they, like if they want to have like a happy day. I personally have never taken a walk for the joy of like just needing to be outside. That's me personally, but I definitely do feel like whenever I'm having like an overwhelming moment, sometimes just stepping outside, like in the presence of the outdoors definitely does help the stress a little bit. Okay, make socializing a priority. Check and check. That's probably like one of the only things on this list that I have down pat. I love socializing. I love my friends, especially being in school. Like you need to break off. You need to like have a moment to yourself. Like take a break. Go hang out with your friends. Network with people outside your industry. I love this because I don't actually have to try very hard for this because like I'm one of the only like people in law that I know. There's probably one other person that I know that's actually in my field, but everyone else is outside of it. And I love it because like, I love to talk about like what I do, but I love to hear about what they do because it's like a break of like everything. And plus it's just always interesting. I love it. Okay. Write more handwritten notes. This I agree with because writing handwritten notes shows people that you care. And not to mention, like, I feel like sending emails and stuff, definitely. Sometimes, like, sending text, too. But I feel like texts are, like, the norm now. But I feel like it doesn't get the job done. Skip screens before bedtime. Yeah, about that. So I am an avid on my phone all the time kind of person. Like, even if I'm not, sorry, I'm, like, screwing my hair. Even if I'm not like on social media, I'm always on my phone because I put everything on my phone now. So that I struggle with skipping screens before bedtime. Trade in TV for good books. This I agree with. I've actually been trying to look more to books than we're actually on 20 out of 35. So we're doing pretty well, guys. So stick with me here. Trading in TV for good books. So I've actually I love reading a good book and I love reading it in paper form. It's definitely a lot better than like looking at your screen for it. I can't look at a screen that consistently. So that's probably why. So 21 says to get more sleep. I struggle with getting enough sleep to begin with. So I can't say that I can abide by this, but I say that I get more sleep when I have to. I get up about the same time every day, probably around 4:35 for the gym. So depending on that, I try to get in bed by at least 10 or 11, which I know is probably not enough sleep, but I can usually operate according to myself on less sleep than 8 hours. But I would recommend definitely getting, obviously, more sleep because that's what Pinterest says that you need to do. Get more sleep. So invest in your home. So I am renting right now. I love my house, but I definitely agree to invest in your home because it's like, it's pretty much what you work towards every day, right? So you want to come home and you want it to make you happy. Checking your bank statements regularly. This is convicting. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I like to live in a world where we don't acknowledge spending things, and we don't acknowledge food bills, and we don't acknowledge all that other stuff, and we just want to live in a world where bank statements don't matter and we can spend whatever we want to. But that convicting moment when you have to look at your bank account after you've just had one of those treat yourself kind of moments, it's not the best. It's not fun. We don't like it. But yes, Pinterest says check your bank statements regularly. So you have to do it in order to be a girl boss. Declutter by donating items to charity. Definitely. I love to donate my clothes to Goodwill whenever. I'm sure there's a lot of like homeless shelters, women's shelters. I know that a lot of women's shelters even take makeup nowadays. So I think that that's a pretty awesome thing. So whenever you go to clean out your closet, definitely donate them to charity. So 25 says to sign up for automatic debits to your savings account. I agree for that, just because like when it does it without you even having to see it. So it's like it takes some money out, puts it into your savings account, you never miss it, and you're saving for something fun to do, maybe like a vacation or a gift for yourself, which that's why Christmas was always hard for me, because I was always too busy buying gifts for myself. So practicing accepting compliments with a simple thank you. This definitely is something that I would have to practice myself, because, so I don't know, I'm kind of like awkward socially. So whenever there's moments where someone compliments me, like I either, like even if someone says like, oh, I love your shirt, and I'm like, oh, this old thing, or oh, you love it even though it's like a million sizes too large, like I'll diss on whatever it is that they complimented about me in like the most awkward way, and then I'll sit and I'll think about it like for like a solid hour after it happens, and I'm like, why are you the way that you are? Why can't you just accept a compliment? Say thank you. These people go to compliment you. How would you feel whenever you compliment someone and they take it and they turn around on something negative on themselves? That's not what compliments are supposed to be. So take time off to recharge. Yes and yes. No matter how busy your life is, even if it's 2 seconds, you deserve that time of the day. Chances are you deserve more than that. So if you have any sort of time to sit and relax, do that, because you're going to feel better and you deserve it. Learn new vocabulary words. I love this concept because I don't think that we use enough terminology in our everyday lives. And I don't know about anyone else, but I don't feel like I do either. Nope. Identify your professional role model and reach out to them. I like that. That's a good idea. I actually think I might do that. Someone that we strive to be like, and someone who inspires us in our professional capacity. So that is cool. Watch more TED Talks. So I have to say that I'm not 100% familiar with what TED Talks cover. I do know that they cover like a variety of things. I think the most recent one that I watched was actually done by, I believe her name is Susan Klebold. If I messed up that name, I'm sorry, but she was actually the mother of one of the Columbine shooters. She talked about the importance of noticing the symptoms and the warning signs of suicide, because her son Dylan did commit suicide in this Columbine shooting, and so she made it a point to talk about and address her son's suicide, which I thought that was awesome that she had a chance to. Not awesome, obviously, that it happened, but that she was brave enough to talk about what had happened in that situation. So 31, we're getting close, guys, and I swear I'm going to shut up. Keep a mobile list of your best ideas. That I like. I actually do that a lot for my videos that I do, like either makeup videos that I want to do just on my YouTube channel. So I'll usually keep that because it will just pop into my head and then I just kind of always forget. So keeping a list is obviously a good idea. Create a vision board and display it proudly. I actually watched a favorite YouTuber of mine, and she talks about how to do a vision board, and I definitely want to do one of these for myself, but I'm like, I need a color printer. How am I going to do this? But I think that I could just do it. So I might be too old school, but I did discover something pretty awesome the other day. So I'm a loser. And so I am, I'm the president of the Criminal Law Society at my school, and we are putting together our organization board for the fair that's going on tomorrow. And so I needed to print out pictures of our events that we had hosted. And so I'm like, I've gotten to the stage of life where I just don't want to attend or go to anything like physically or want to wait or whatever. Maybe it's just today's culture. I'll blame it on that. But I actually Googled an app to see if I could print off pictures automatically somewhere, which I know you can do that usually through like the Walmart, CVS, like Rite Aid, anything like that. But this is like an all over app. So you literally just like put in your pictures and it pulls up whatever's closest to you, like whether it be a Rite Aid, CVS. So it doesn't even have to like put you in a box, like as far as like whatever store you want to go to. Like it tells you which one's closer or closest to you. And mine happened to be 0.6 miles away. Cool, right? So I think I'm going to have to print my stuff out on that from now on. I didn't know you could do that. Like I know you could kind of, but I don't know, to that extent it was super easy. So you need to celebrate your milestones with loved ones. I think that's awesome. I also think that telling your family and your friends the things that you want to accomplish this year, this month, this week, this day, anything keeps you accountable. So I think that's definitely a good idea. 34, research nearby counselors or life coaches. If you definitely need someone that is going to be there to kick your butt, I definitely recommend that. And last but not least, but last for me, because I'm going to let you guys go because I've been yapping for almost an hour, is eliminate toxic influences. So with this, I definitely agree. If there is a toxic anything in your life that's definitely like stealing from your happiness, I definitely recommend like just wash your hands of it. Life's too short. Focus on being happy, and that's probably what's most, not probably, that is what is most important in your life. So I think that's going to about do it for me for my New Year's resolutions and all the things that Pinterest has taught me. I feel like making this a series, honestly, because it's kind of been fun to talk through these things, because now that I say them out loud, I feel like I kind of have it a little bit together. Not really, maybe not Pinterest together, but I kind of have it sort of together. So thank you guys for joining and chatting with me. I really appreciate it. It's been fun catching up with you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.